Hello friends, how are you? I hope you are doing good. So let's continue with our discussion on marginal costing. That's what we have been discussing about. Okay, let's continue with marginal costing. So before we start, subscribe to the channel, press the like button and obviously the bell button also so that you get all the notifications, and most importantly share with all your people, right, all your friends on all the platforms wherever you can. And if you are posting on the Telegram something related to studies, you can tag us, you can follow us on Instagram. All the links are there in the video description, and you can buy our handbooks which are in line with this free YouTube video. So basically what you are getting is you are getting the whole course in just the price of books, plus if you want to join one of the best courses, that is the ICI study mat course, right? And for the upcoming sessions, we are extending that course in which we will be covering the ICI study mat, RTPs, MTPs, everything will be covered. We are soon coming up with that courses also. For that you have to download our Android mobile app where you will get notified whenever we are launching that course, right? And whenever it is available in English, Hindi, whatever it is, you will get notified on the app. Okay, so let's continue with marginal costing. So what we have covered in the marginal costing so far, we have covered the basics, right? Basics of marginal costing. Then we talked about contribution, major topics, contribution, right? That contribution is what? That amount which shows that whether we are able to cover our fixed cost or not, earnings from the operations. Then we talked about PV ratio, right? Relationship between contribution and sales, or change in profit due to change in sales. Then we talked about break-even point. Break-even point. What is break-even point? It is a no profit, no loss situation, right? It is that level of sales where you are neither earning the profits nor you are incurring the losses. In the last lecture, we discussed about something, margin of safety, right? Margin of safety. The level of sales beyond break-even sales is your margin of safety, where you're earning profits. Your fixed cost is recovered up till the break-even point. So whatever you will earn after the break-even point, that is margin of safety. So in that case, your contribution will be equal to your profit because there will be no fixed cost. So we have discussed this thing in detail, right? All these topics we are done with. So in this lecture, what we are going to do is we are going to do two small topics, right? Not very lengthy or some difficult topics. One is cost indifference point. Cost indifference point. Now when we talk about the modules, in the modules of the ICI, I'm talking about CA modules, right? There these topics are not specifically highlighted separately. No. Right? These are not specifically highlighted topics separately, but there are questions in the back questions also. There are questions where these topics have been used. So we need to see what is this cost indifference point, right? What is this cost indifference point? It is that level of sales. It is that level of sales where cost between two alternatives is same. Cost between two alternatives is same. Or the same thing I can say that if the cost between the two alternatives is same, I can say, or profit between the profit earning between two alternatives, profit between two alternatives is same, right? So basically cost indifference point says that we are looking at two alternatives of one thing, right? We are looking at two alternatives of the one thing. Say for example, you go to the market, you want to buy an Android phone, right? So you have two options, you have two alternatives, whether to go for the Vivo or you want to go for the Samsung or MI, right? The cost of the two phones is absolutely similar with all the features similar. So what will happen? You will be indifferent whether you go for MI or whether you go for Vivo. You will be indifferent between that because the cost is same, the features is same, everything is same, right? If everything is same, that means you are indifferent between that. Whether you go for the Vivo or whether you go for the MI, you are indifferent between that. So it is that level of sales where the cost between the two alternatives is same, or the profit earning from the two alternative is same, right? In that case, we are indifferent as to adoption of any of the alternatives, right? We are indifferent. We are indifferent as to selection of one alternative, as to selection of any one alternative, right? This is the cost indifference point. This is the indifference point, that is, you will be indifferent between the two alternatives in terms of cost if the cost of the two alternative is same or the profit between the two alternative is same. So you will be indifferent as to the selection of any one alternative, right? Now we say, when we talk about the cost indifferent point, we say the cost between the two alternative is same. Let's try to derive the formula out of it. That if you want to write it in the formula form, what will be it? Let's say alternative 1, right? Variable cost is equal to V1 and fixed cost is equal to F1, right? And if I talk about alternative 2, their variable cost I'll say is V2, right, per unit, and this is also per unit, right? Fixed cost is equal to F2, right? Then I say number of units to be sold where you will reach the indifference point. Number of units to be sold, say it is X. Now, as per the cost indifference point, says the total cost under the two alternatives is same, right? So what will be the total cost under the two alternatives? Let's say, what is alternative 1? What will be the total cost? V1 is the variable cost per unit and number of units that you are selling is X, right? So your cost will be V1 multiplied by X plus fixed cost. This is your total cost of alternative 1. Next, what is the total cost of alternative 2? V2 into X, that is the number of units that you are selling, plus F2. So this is the equation as per cost indifference point, that the cost under the two alternatives is same. Right? Now I'm going to derive the formula. Listen to it very carefully. What I will do is, I will say F1 minus F2 is equal to V2x minus V1x, right? So I've taken F1 here and V1 on the other side of the equation. Any doubts in this? So I'll say F1 minus F2 is equal to V2 minus V1 multiplied by X. I can write it like this way. Take X common, then V2 minus V1, right? So what is the value of X now? What is the value of X? X is equal to F1 minus F2 divided by V2 minus V1. What is this X? The X is that level of sales where you are reaching the indifference point, right? So this is your cost indifference point. This is the formula now, that cost indifference point means the level of sales, the number of units that you are going to sell, right? So cost indifference point is equal to difference in fixed cost divided by difference in variable cost per unit. V1, V2. What is V1, V2? It is the variable cost per unit. It is not the total variable cost. It is variable cost per unit. So cost indifference point, if you want to calculate, this is how it will be calculated. Difference in fixed cost divided by difference in variable cost per unit. Right? This is the formula for cost indifference point. Now, there is another two formulas in which you can calculate the cost indifference point. That is, cost indifference point is equal to difference in fixed cost, right, divided by difference in contribution per unit. Difference in contribution per unit. That will also give you the cost indifference point. Or difference in fixed cost, difference in fixed cost divided by difference in PV ratio, right, where the profits will be equal or the contributions will be equal, we say, right? And we can use these two formulas also, but majorly this formula is used. These can be used: difference in fixed cost divided by difference in contribution per unit, right? Or difference in fixed cost divided by difference in PV ratio. So for cost indifference point, you have three formulas. These are the three ones. Clear? Now we say that cost indifference point is that level where your total cost between the two alternatives is same. Let's say you are operating at less than cost indifference point. You are operating at less than that point. That means you are operating at where your cost is not, total cost between the two alternatives is not same. Then what will you choose? If you are operating at a level which is less than the cost indifference point, in that case, select the alternative with lower fixed cost. Select the alternative with lower fixed cost, right? Because the first, it is very important for you people to see that your fixed cost is covered, right? So obviously, if you are operating at a level where your total cost between the two alternatives is same, you have to, which alternative should be selected where the fixed cost is less, right? So that whatever the operations you are doing, you are easily able to cover your fixed cost. If you have a higher fixed cost, right, and your cost indifference point, you are operating at less than cost indifference point, right? That means your cost will be higher. So you have to look at the alternatives where the fixed cost is low. If you are operating at higher than cost indifference point, then select the alternative with higher fixed cost or higher PV ratio, right? So this is one interpretation that can be asked in the examination in question. At CIP, at cost indifference point, we are indifferent as to selection, right? If you are operating at equal to CIP, then you are indifferent as to selection. Indifferent as to selection of alternative, right? Indifferent as to selection of alternative. Clear? So this is about the cost indifference point. I hope it is clear, right? There is only one question in the module regarding that, right? So whatever the information is, that I have covered according to that only, right? So these are the formulas for cost indifference point, and this is the interpretation that if you are operating at less than cost indifference point, then select the alternative with the lower fixed cost. That will be important because covering the fixed cost is very important at the first hand. So if you are operating at a very low level, right, if you are operating with just the minimal capacity or the minimal number of units, then you should be very careful this thing that your fixed cost should not exceed too much. Otherwise, you will incur the losses. Right? If you are operating at more than cost indifference point, then there is no issue, sir. Go for the higher fixed cost, incur as many fixed expenses on rent and everything, buy the building, expansions, do expansions, you will get higher PV ratio. Right? Okay, let's see a practical problem on this. Question number 9. Question number 9. Two firms, A Limited and B Limited, sell the same type of product in the same market. Their budgeted profit and loss account for the year ending 31st of March is as follows. A Limited and B Limited. Sales is 5 lakh and 6 lakh. Variable cost is 4 lakh and 4 lakh. Fixed cost is 30,000 and 70,000. Net profit is 70 and 1 lakh 30. Calculate at which sales level both the firms will earn equal profit. Equal profit means cost indifference point, right? That is what we say at cost indifference point, equal cost or equal profit. State which firm is likely to earn greater profits in the condition of heavy demand for the product and in the condition of low demand for the product. Give reasons. Right? So this is given. Let's prepare first the income statement. Then we'll try to analyze. Right? Then we will calculate the indifference point and we'll try to analyze whatever we can. Question number 9. So we have two companies, A and B, right? And what is given? The sales is given. Sales is given 5 lakh and 6 lakh less variable cost. Sales less variable cost, that is 4 lakh and 4 lakh. From here, what you will get is contribution. Right, what you will get is contribution, that is 1 lakh and 2 lakh, right? So this is and we can subtract from here minus fixed cost, that is 30,000 and 70,000. Okay, so basically this is given, we just calculated for the sake of contribution, right? So profit is 70,000 and 1 lakh 30,000, right? Now, sir, this is the situation now. Okay, what is the formula if you want to calculate? If you want to calculate the cost indifference point, the cost indifference point says the difference in the fixed cost, okay, we will take the difference in fixed cost divided by difference in variable cost per unit. Now the problem in this question is that per number of units sold is not given to you. What is given? The total variable cost is given. What is the number of units that you are selling is not given in the question. If the number of units are given in the question, that it becomes very easy. We say variable cost per unit we can calculate easily and then we will calculate the CIP. But in this case, the variable cost is not given. So can you use any other formula for that? So difference in fixed cost divided by difference in contribution per unit. Again, the per unit data is not available. Number of units are not available. Then sir, what can we use? Can we use difference in fixed cost divided by difference in PV ratio? Can we calculate PV ratio in this case? Yes, we can. Right? PV ratio is contribution by sales multiplied by 100. So you can calculate what? You can calculate PV ratio here. PV ratio. Right? PV ratio is contribution 1 lakh divided by sales 5 lakh multiplied by 100. So this comes out to 20% and this comes out to 33, 1 by 3%. This is the PV ratio. Now you can calculate cost indifference point, that is difference in fixed cost 70,000, right, minus 30,000 divided by 33, 1 by 3% minus 20%, right? So this comes out to 3 lakh. So this is the cost indifference point. That means if both the companies manufacture 3 lakh units, they will be indifferent as to selection, right? They will earn the equal profits. Both companies will earn equal profits at 3 lakh units, right? No doubt. Now, the second part, read the second part of the question. He says, which firm is likely to earn greater profits in the condition of heavy demand of the product, right? So let's first talk about the heavy demand of the product. First condition is heavy demand of the product. Heavy demand of product. That means there is quite a possibility that you will manufacture more than this 3 lakh units because this demand is there for the product. It is not necessary that you will manufacture only 3 lakh units. If you are going to manufacture more than 3 lakh units, which firm will you choose, A or B? Say if you manufacture more than 3 lakh units, if you are operating at more than CIP because there is heavy demand of the product, you are not going to restrict yourself to 3 lakh units. You are going to go beyond these 3 lakh units. Which firm will you choose, A or B? Sir, obviously we will go for the firm B. Why? Because the firm B is having higher PV ratio. So that is what I told you, that if you are operating at more than CIP, select the alternative with higher fixed cost or higher PV ratio. Firm B, higher fixed cost also and higher PV ratio also. So in case of heavy demand, we will go with firm B, as this firm is having higher PV ratio, right? So its earnings will be higher than A, right? Now, in case of low demand of the product, what will happen? Low demand of product. Now, in case of low demand of the product, with which option you will go? See, if you will go with the option B, in case you are not selling, say you are selling less than 3 lakh units because there is no demand for your product, low demand for your product, right? So if you will go for the option B, looking at the PV ratio, you will say, sir, that the PV ratio, this firm B is earning more profit. So I'll go with the firm B because PV ratio is higher. But see, the fixed cost is also higher. With such a low level of demand, will you be able to cover the fixed cost of 70,000? Doubt, sir. Doubt. Right? So it is important now to see, to select the firm. If you are operating less than cost indifference point, if you are operating at a level, right, less than the CIP, then you have to see which firm is having the less fixed cost, right? In this case, we will select firm A, even if the PV ratio is less than that of firm B, but the fixed cost is also less, right? So it is important to see whether we are able to cover fixed cost or not. In case of low demand of the product, we will select firm A as the fixed cost of firm A is less than that of firm B, as the fixed cost of firm A is less than that of firm B, right? So this is all about the cost indifference point. We are done with question number 9 also, and this is all about cost indifference point. Done with this topic, right? Okay, now coming to another topic, very small topic, quickly we will complete it, that is shutdown point. That is shutdown point. Again, the question is there in the module covering this topic, that is shutdown point. What is this shutdown point? Shutdown point says it is that level of sales. It is that level of sales below which it is not feasible to continue business. Now what it says that it is that level of sales. Again, the sales quantity, it is that level of sales, and if your sales go below this level, we find one level, say my sales is 1 lakh rupees, right? Now if my sales go below 1 lakh rupees or 1 lakh units, it is not feasible to continue the business. Why it is not feasible to continue the business? When will this situation arise, right? If we talk about, we say it is not feasible to continue business. When will it happen? If you are incurring the losses. If you are incurring losses, only then we say that it is not feasible to continue business, correct? When will you incur the losses? Look at the income statement. Under the marginal costing, look at the income statement and tell me, when are you going to incur the losses? Sir, we are going to incur the losses if we are not able to cover our fixed cost, not able to recover our fixed cost, right, from contribution. right? If fixed cost is more than the contribution, we will incur losses. And in case of losses, it is better to shut down the business, sir. That means in the shutdown point, we have to find out that level of sales up till which we can continue and below which we will have to shut down the business. Let's take an example. I say my total fixed cost is rupees 80,000, right? My unavoidable fixed cost is rupees 20,000. Now, what is meant by this unavoidable fixed cost? Unavoidable fixed cost is that cost which we will have to incur even if we close the business. It is to be incurred in any case, right? I close my factory, but I will have to pay some rent and taxes, right? Might be some electricity or something. One person is there, I'm paying the salary to that person. Watchman is there, I'm paying the salary to that watchman, right? That watchman will be using the minimal of electricity, I'll be paying the electricity bill. That is unavoidable fixed cost that even if I close the business, I will have to incur that fixed cost, right? Out of the total fixed cost. So what is my avoidable fixed cost here? Out of total fixed cost, my unavoidable fixed cost is there, and avoidable fixed cost is rupees 60,000. Now, which cost will be important? If we want to calculate this level of sales, which cost is important or relevant to be considered? Unavoidable or avoidable, right? You have to select between unavoidable and avoidable, right? So listen to it very carefully. Unavoidable cost. If you say unavoidable cost is more relevant, so we have to see it from the point of unavoidable cost. Sir, unavoidable cost has to be incurred in any of the scenarios, whether you close the business or not. So is it going to be relevant for the decision making, whether we should continue our business? It is irrelevant. Why it is irrelevant? Because it is to be incurred in any of the scenarios. Then how can it be relevant? Right? What about the avoidable fixed cost? Sir, avoidable fixed cost is the more relevant cost when we come to decision making. We have to see that whether from the sales, now we want to calculate that level of sales from which we are able to cover this avoidable fixed cost. Until the level of sales we are able to cover this avoidable fixed cost, right, we can continue the business. And if there is a time that our sales drop to such a level that we are not able to cover this 60,000, we should close the business. This 20,000 is anyhow to be incurred. It is irrelevant for decision making, right? Whether we close the business or whether we continue with the business, this unavoidable fixed cost has to be incurred. So all the decision making is to be covered from this avoidable fixed cost part, right? So what will happen? We need to find out that level of sales up till which it is feasible to continue with the business. So at that level of sales, your contribution will be equal to avoidable fixed cost. Now in this case, what will happen? We need to find out that level of sales where contribution is equal to avoidable fixed cost, that we are able to just cover the fixed cost, avoidable fixed cost, right? So contribution, I can write it as unit sold multiplied by contribution per unit is equal to avoidable fixed cost, right? So unit sold here means the number of units that you want to sell, the shutdown units, right? Shutdown point. It will be, I'll rename it as shutdown point, SDP. So shutdown point is avoidable fixed cost. It is like the break even point, but in this case we divide the fixed cost into avoidable and unavoidable. Avoidable fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. That is, up till this level of sales you can continue because your fixed cost is just being recovered by the contribution whatever you are earning. The avoidable fixed cost is being recovered, right? We are not talking about the unavoidable fixed cost, that the avoidable fixed cost is just being recovered from the contribution. Up till this level you can continue with the business, right? Or the another method of doing it as same as in, this is in units, and if you want to calculate in value, then it will be avoidable fixed cost divided by PV ratio, right? So this is about shutdown point. Clear? Very simple topic. There is one question in the ICI module. In another of the modules, I'm not sure about it, in the CMA or other modules, right? But this is about the shutdown point, that we have to calculate that level of sales, that if we go below that, it is better to close the business, right? And for that, we have to see the avoidable fixed cost, not the unavoidable fixed cost, because it becomes irrelevant as it has to be incurred in any of the cases, unavoidable or unavoidable fixed cost, right? So we are done with the shutdown point, and that's all for this lecture. In the next lecture, what we are going to do is very important topic of the marginal costing, from where we definitely expect a lot of questions, right? So in the next lecture, we'll see you with very important topic, that is key or limiting factor. Key or limiting factor, right? So we'll see you guys in the next lecture with very important topic, because we definitely expect a question from key or limiting factor and some really good questions. We'll solve one question from the institute MAT only, ICI MAT only, right? So see you guys in the next lecture. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, keep studying, keep sharing. Thank you so much.